Hello once again, Point Park women's basketball fans. We're here with Pioneers head coach Tony Grenek getting ready for the 2013-14 season. Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking the time for this interview once again.
Thank you for having me, and I can't believe it's basketball season already, but it's that time of year again.
And Coach, you've been to back-to-back national tournaments, back-to-back conference championships, 25-7 overall last year, 11-4 in the KIAC. You won the KIAC regular season and tournament championship last year, your first year in the league. How do you do it again and work on that three-peat? I'm sure that's something that is on the mind of the Pioneers.
I think it's on the mind of every team at this time of the year where you're trying to make yourself a championship contender. It's so early in the season. We have a lot of new players. So we're just going to take it one game at a time. I mean, it sounds very cliche, but however, that's how we're going to have to do it. And hopefully, if things fall into place, we'll be very competitive again in the league.
Talking about the KIAC, Coach, your pick tied for first in the KIAC preseason coaches poll. What do you think about that? Are you where you should be, where you can be, where you have the potential to be? What do you make of that preseason?
Honestly, I have no idea. I really don't take a whole lot of stock into those because I'm not sure what everybody has coming back in regards to like new recruits. I'm sure a lot of teams in our conference aren't really familiar with our new recruits. So it's always a crapshoot at the beginning of the year, and I think people kind of vote based on rankings and everything from the previous year, how things finish up. So I don't take a whole lot of stock in that. Do we deserve it? I have no idea. I think every coach probably in the league feels the same way. We just want to try to get better and hopefully give ourselves a shot at the end of the year.
Year number 2 in the KIAC coming up. It was a brand new experience last year, but now you know what it's like to go through a year in the new conference. How will it be different in year number 2?
I think in one ways is scheduling. Last year, because we got in the KIAC so late, we had to kind of scramble around, as well as Carlo, trying to get games and fit in games with everybody's schedule. And, even the other KIAC schools had to go through the same thing. We had a nice, time to figure out on best travel partners for everybody and the best way to schedule everything. And so our schedule isn't as crammed as it was last year. So we'll have some nice opportunities to rest our legs. We play a full 30-game slate. However, 18 of those games we don't leave Pittsburgh. We have 16 home games. We play at La Roche, we play at Carlo, which are just outside the city. So, I think our travel is going to be a lot less, which will hopefully be beneficial for our legs at the end of the year.
Certainly a good test for the Pioneers, that 30-game schedule coming up with the season opener very soon. Coach, talking about your team this year, you have some holdovers, some returning players, 3 of 5 starters is a positive. That's a good thing with that many returners in the starting lineup. But there's also a lot of new faces, be it freshmen or transfers. Talk about the makeup of your team and how that the new and returning players have molded together, and really the makeup of your team at this point of the year.
So far, I think we've done a tremendous job, and our team has done a tremendous job of gelling. We have some wonderful freshmen that have come in. We have Carly Force and Selena DePietro that, were starters on the Bishop Canevin State Championship team here in Pennsylvania, AA. And, they're battle-tested, and they're going to make an immediate impact as freshmen, which usually doesn't happen at the collegiate level. We have Teresa Davis, Katrisa Savitsky, Jania McFadder, who was an all-conference player last year, all returning. We've added some size with Sam Weir. Ashley Campbell's back. Anna Maria Boschkova's back from injuries last year. So that's going to help our depth and our height as well. Alexis Zanakis is now a sophomore, has really improved over the summer, has gotten that experience of what it takes to play at the college level, and has really put a lot of hours in the gym over the summer. Haley Sauer the same way. We've added Sam Weir, a freshman transfer from Seton Hill, who's 6 foot strong, good post play. Lauren Mrazek, and we have 14, 15, so it's going to be hard.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah, the list goes on and on. But what I like is we're last year we were pretty small. I thought overall we didn't really have a legitimate post player. Emily Shartner, who since graduated was our tallest player and was really a guard for us. So we've added some size. We have nice depth. We've added some shooting ability. And I also forgot to mention Kayla Kittle from New Zealand, a junior college transfer. And she has been doing some great things running our point guard position so far early in the year. And we expect great things from her. So I think overall we've improved our team greatly over this past year. However, like you said, we're very young, we're very green and new to each other, but so far we've gelled quite well.
Now, Coach, defense and ball control have been such a big part of your team and your identity the last 2 years. You've ranked in the top 10 in the NAIA in both scoring, defense, and turnover margin, so holding the other team down and also taking care of the ball, especially on the defensive side where you emphasize defense so much. Are you going to be able to play the same defense and with the team you have this year that you want to play?
Yes, right now our defense is a little bit ahead of our offense, and we're trying to still pressure the ball and make it miserable for other teams to score and just try to make them work for everything. And so I think we're going to be able to do that as well. On the offensive side, I'm trying to change some things in regards to speeding up the game because we have more depth and some more size and some better shooting. I'd like to play at a faster pace, and also that a lot of that is because we've lost April Austin, our tremendous point guard, due to graduation, and she was able to control the tempo of the game, where we didn't have so much depth as we did last year. So with the more depth and the new players, we're trying to let them play a little bit freely. And let's be honest, if we are honored and lucky enough to go to nationals again, we have to learn how to score more. We just can't go and get 60 points or 50 points, and to play these teams at the national level, and even in our conference, we need to score a little bit more.
Exactly, Coach. You've held opponents to 56 points last year. I want to say 52, 51 points a game the year before that. Do you feel like you found the offense with some of the? There's definitely a glut of players at shooting guard, and a lot of different players that can put the ball in the basket a variety of ways, even more so than.
Yeah, I honestly think we're getting there, and I think it's a work in progress, not even so much for the players, but even me as a coach, because I'm really not familiar and used to playing to that style. We just try to grind it out and play to 60 and hold the other team under 60, and hopefully we win. Where this year we want to try to up the tempo a little bit more, and that's new to me, so it's a work in progress for both me and our players.
So offensively, do you envision a more free-flowing, fast-paced, less maybe set half-court type things where you had April Austin, the All-American point guard, to rely on?
Yeah, I'm trying to give the players the freedom to attack the basket and take the wide open shot, and it's a little bit difficult at times to pull back the reins when you're used to playing a half-court basketball. But like I said, if we're going to be able to challenge for a national title and hopefully another conference championship, we need to be able to put the ball in the basket a little bit more, and I need to give the players a little bit more freedom, and hopefully if we can continue to work on that, we'll up our offensive game.
That being said, you're a defensive coach at heart. That's what you've built the Pioneers on the last couple of years. Could you describe your defensive philosophy of just really getting after it? And you used the word making the opponent miserable. If you could elaborate on that.
We just honestly, whether it be man-to-man, whether it be in our zone, whether it be our half-court man, whether it be our full-court presses, We just try to make it as difficult as possible for the other team to score. And, we work on several drills each day, like our closeout drills, and we try to teach our kids not to foul and bring their arms down and just try to not make silly mistakes. And what we try to tell our team is, as great players, sometimes we're just going to score. If we could just get a hand in the face, limit the other team to one shot, and, box out and rebound, that's the best that we can do. And, there's going to be some teams that we can pressure. There's going to be some teams that we may have to lay back in the paint a little bit, depending on size and talent-wise. So, our game plan is kind of predicated on, what our opponents can do.
Now, Coach, I want to switch gears a little bit and talk some personnel, if you will. Give us a peek at the depth chart a little bit, position by position, whatever position you want to start with. Where do things stand right now, heading into the season opener?
I think right now what we're going to try to do is, try to be close to 3 deep at each position. Right now we got Kayla Kittle starting at the 1, Haley Sauer, who's much improved and doing a great job, backing up at the 1, and we also have Alexis Lyers, who's a freshman, who's a really good player, just a little bit young right now, and playing behind Kayla and Haley, who are have more experience in her. She'll come along fine down the road. At the 2 guard spot, you got Selena DiPietro, who is going to be a superstar here, I think, eventually. As the years go by, and but she's good enough to play right now as a freshman, can shoot it. It's been in high pressure situations. You got Alexis Zanakis, who's much improved, very athletic, much improved outside shot, can take it to the basket really well. And those two will be vying for time at the 2 spot. We also have Lauren Mrazek at that spot, where Lauren might not be as athletic as Selena and Alexa. However, she might be our best outside shooter. And she's almost like a specialist, like Brittany Dunmeyer was, where she can be come in and be a zone buster. Being still young as a freshman, it's going to take her a little bit of time to pick up things, I think, defensively and how we like to play defense. Also at the 3 spot, we have Teresa Davis. Could be Teresa Savitsky. She'll actually be starting at the 5 our first game. But we have with Teresa and Katrisa, Bianca Cotton, and Carly Corcoran, who's coming off a knee injury. They'll be all fighting for time at the 3 spot. And I think everybody knows that has seen us play the last couple of years with Katrisa Savitsky and Teresa Davis. You're just looking at 2 phenomenal defenders, 2 high effort and high energy kids. And, we kind of like to maybe split them up at times so they don't burn themselves out because they play so hard. However, with right now we have an injury to Jania McFadder, our All-American, I shouldn't say All-American, but our All-Conference player. And so we're going to have to split and put Catrice at another position right now. At the 4, and I consider 4s and 5s all kind of like the same. We have players such as Carly Force, who's probably going to start that first game as well, being the freshman from Bishop Canevin. Sam Weir, the freshman transfer from Seton Hill University, 6 foot, strong, can finish around the basket. Ashley Campbell, 6 foot, long arms, good mid-range game. Anna Boschkova, 6'1", 6'2", long arms, mid-range game as well. Ashley and Anna aren't maybe as physical as Carly and Samantha Weir. However, they provide us with different looks out there with a consistent 15-foot shot, and they can run the floor really well. So I think what's exciting about our team right now is we can do a lot of different things. We can put 5 guards on the floor. We can get really big. Kayla, who's going to be starting at the point guard, is really 5'9", 5'10". So she's a big guard and capable of playing probably the 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we can do a lot of different things this year, and we're really looking forward to it.
Coach, that gives a great look at the depth chart. Not to concentrate on one position over the other, but the point guard spot was one that I think you even. It took a while to even find who was going to be the replacement, even into your preseason camp with the departure of April Austin. You have so many shooting guards and forwards and so forth. With Kayla Kittle taking control of that position, what does she bring as a player that maybe not a point guard by trade or when you brought her in here, but as a junior college transfer? But what's she bringing?
She has a tremendous ball handling skills. She's strong, so it's going to be very hard to take the ball off of her. I don't think that she might have the open court vision right now, but even though she is an excellent passer, penetrating and kicking, penetrating and finding the open player, but just that open court vision might not be as good as April's because she's not a natural point guard where April was. However, she attacks the basket so hard. She applies ball pressure on the point guard. So, so it's going to be, she's going to make a lot of point guards miserable on the defensive end, just the way she pressures the ball. And she's a tremendous athlete. She's long. She's big for her size. She's going to be able to take a point guard into the post and cause mismatches if necessary. We'd like to see maybe her improve upon her outside game, like her three-point shot, but that's going to come with time. And but right now, that's another reason we want to play fast as well, because we have athletes like Kayla and Haley and even Alexis Lyers, who comes from an up-tempo system near Washington, D.C., where she played her high school ball. So, we want to try to play fast and furious as much as possible and get a lot of shots up and get the ball to our players running the floor.
Coach, just a couple more questions here. Next up is, what are some strengths of this year's team? I think you mentioned one just now, depth, and maybe also athleticism. Would you count those as strengths?
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing is the way the kids get along, and that's a credit to our seniors. And I forgot to mention Anna Shaw right now, who has a torn ACL, and she's going to try to play through it. She hasn't really been cleared to play yet, but she's been rehabbing. And but when you look at our seniors, Anna Shaw, Ashley Campbell, Anna Boschkova, Katrisa Savitsky, Teresa Davis, you're just looking at great individuals on and off the court. And what they're doing is, you don't have to be a freshman and be scared of these seniors. You could be a freshman, sophomore, and junior and rely on them and ask them for help. And they make the team what it is. And, I've been fortunate enough to have great senior classes since I've been here that take that leadership role. And each year, we don't designate team captains. We just say, seniors, you're the captains. This is your team, and make it work. And these ladies have done a great job so far this year, and it's really hasn't been any different in the past 2 years. And I think that's huge. We enjoy playing basketball. We enjoy being around each other, and hopefully it continue to be that way.
Always great to hear those great stories there, Coach. One more question, get you out of here on this
Sure.
one. When fans come out to see you this year, whether at home at CCAC South or on the road, what type of product will they see out there on the floor? What will they see from Point Park University women's basketball?
We're going to play hard, and we're going to be fighting every game. And whether we're winning by 20, whether we're down by 20, whether it's a close game, we'll never give up. And I think that it's not a whole lot's going to be different than the previous 2 years, because I think we've played hard. But this year we have a little bit more depth where we can get up and down the floor a little bit more, so we might be more up-tempo offensively than what people are used to seeing. But expect that tenacious defense coming out once again.
Absolutely, Coach. Sounds great, and very excited for the 2013-14 season upcoming. Coach, want to wish you the best of luck this year, and thank you once again for taking the time on our YouTube channel to talk about this year's edition of Pioneers Women's Basketball. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.